One of my favorite authors is Nassim Taleb, and he has that classic book, The Black Swan, and in it, it's sort of at the center of that book to illustrate his metaphor. He talks about the turkey problem. And the turkey problem is a warning against over-reliance on inductive thinking. In other words, the idea that because certain things have happened in the past, we can be certain that those things are going to continue in the future, because we can sometimes be tricked and not be ready for what happens. 2020 has been a perfect year. Who would have seen the COVID-19 coming? Who would have seen the challenges that our country's faced coming? Because most of the times we wake up, we just think it's going to be a day just like every other day. But as most of us discovered, at some point in March, at least if you're living in the United States or in Europe, all of a sudden things shut down. Nassim Taleb calls this phenomenon essentially the turkey problem. And what he means by that is, if you're a turkey, you live most of your life with this premise: humans are my friend. And in fact, they like me so much that they bring me food every single day. And if you're a turkey, you can just keep tracking this day after day for, I don't know how long a turkey lives. Let's say a turkey lives for about 2 years, right? So the humans bring the turkey food every single day. And what's astonishing is that's going to be true up until just a couple of days before Thanksgiving, right? And then ironically, at the moment that the turkey's life becomes completely rocked, there will never be more evidence that humans are my friends until they aren't. And that's what Taleb calls the turkey problem. You can have this nice graph going, but then suddenly there's a drop off. It's all about, how do you balance risk and certainty then? So what can you be certain about? And so Taleb says, don't be a turkey, right? And none of us want to be turkeys. None of us want to wake up someday thinking we've lived our life by certain principles that have always gotten, things have continued to get better, then suddenly that they don't. So what are some things that we can make sure that we do to make sure that we're not turkeys? First thing is, we need to continually question the assumptions that we make. What are you assuming in your business is always going to be true? And the second thing is to do is not only is check your assumptions, but then keep learning. How are you learning? How are you growing? Are you simply doing the same things that you've always done, or are you learning new skills that can allow us to be adaptable? And then 3, recognize that the future is always open as long as we're not so attached to the past that we can't let go of it when things instantaneously and drastically change, so that we can then pivot and shift and see obstacles that come as the raw materials that can help us create that next step in our lives. So don't be a turkey. Don't assume because everything has been going great that it always will. Now the reverse is also true. Just because we're in a bad space doesn't mean it's going to stay bad. Things tend to be cyclical, right? But we don't want to be turkeys, and we want to make sure that we focus on things that we can control, focus on challenging our own assumptions, continuing to grow, and be ready to pivot when we need to move into a new future and a new space. Again, I'm Brian Russell. Thanks for listening.